This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Nevada. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Nevada and Learfield.
Coming up tonight on Wolfpack All Access, the Nevada football team heads to the Central Valley to face off against longtime foe Fresno State. Highlights of the Wolfpack and the Bulldogs and our one-on-one conversation with head coach Ken Wilson. Plus, a historic announcement in the city of Reno as the Grand Sierra Resort unveils plans for a $1 billion investment into their property, which includes a new arena that will be the home to Nevada basketball. Hear from head coach Steve Alford and others on this massive deal. And she's come from Las Vegas as a walk-on and turned into a surprise starter for the Wolfpack soccer team. We'll tell you the story of Serene Gronauer. That and much more coming up on Wolfpack All Access, presented by Champion Chevrolet. And hi, everybody. Welcome inside our Champion Chevrolet Nevada Sportsnet studios. I'm Alex Margulies. It is a 100-year celebration of the long-standing rival between Nevada and Fresno State, and the Wolfpack facing off against the Bulldogs team coming off of their Mountain West Conference championship season a year ago and ranked in the top 25. And the Bulldogs defense would be stifling. They would come up with a couple of big plays, and they down Nevada to the tune of a 27-9 victory. Shannon Kelly has the highlights.
Nevada's opening drive, the Bulldogs stuffed the Pack on 3rd and 1, but a pair of two big 4th and 1 plays as the Pack moves the sticks courtesy of Sean Dollars. An early penalty would be costly, though, as Brendan Lewis would get taken down here on 3rd and long. Fresno State's first sack of the night forces the Pack to punt. The Bulldogs, on their opening drive, Mikey Keene finds Jalen Gill. He sweeps left and is off for the races. A 65-yard touchdown to get Fresno State on the board first. How about 6th-year corner Jaden Dedman now, taking down Keene in the backfield early in the second quarter for his first sack of the season. Bulldogs, next drive. How about the other 6th-year veteran, safety Amani Johnson with his first career pick, Keene's 3rd interception of the season. Pack can't capitalize, though, as the Bulldogs would lead 14-0 at halftime. Fresno State and Keene's offense struggling to move the chains a bit in the second half. Back-to-back drives settling for field goals. It's 20-0 Fresno State late in the third quarter. Lewis trying to get something rolling, but not a lot of time in the pocket. He was sacked 6 times on Saturday night and threw 2 late interceptions. Under 9 minutes to play, Davion Blackwell takes down the Bulldogs in the end zone. The Wolfpack get on the board for the first time on Saturday night with a safety. A.J. Bianco enters back into the game with just a few minutes left on the clock. He connects with Spencer Curtis for pay dirt, but it was a little too late for the Pack as the Wolfpack fall to the Bulldogs 27-9.
All right, Coach, you just came out of the locker room. What did you tell your team after that one?
I told them that we played on defense and special teams good enough to win that football game, and we got to do something on offense to or we're going to have a bad season. All
right, let's start just kind of with the first drive of the game. I mean, you guys come out and really had a great drive. 9 minutes, I think, in 15 seconds. You got 5 first downs, but then you had a penalty that, you weren't able to get any points there. I mean, was that a little bit of a microcosm about a lot of drives you had this year where you just can't finish? I know you've talked about that.
Yeah, penalties, ball security, not finishing drives. I mean, it's a repeat over and over and over again. And we somehow have to figure out something on offense to at least control the ball and keep the defense off the field so many plays in every game.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of great moments from your defense. You mentioned, I mean, a couple interceptions. You had the safety. What were you most impressed with their performance? I know they were put in a lot of bad spots, because the offense wasn't able to really move the ball.
Yeah, they play like you're supposed to. They never give up. They play hard. They situations don't affect them. They just keep playing. They don't care what the situation of the game is. They just go out and play. We had one freak play there where they thought there was a whistle, and we thought we heard a whistle. And they got a long run for a touchdown there. Other than that, they didn't run the ball at all. And they got the one pass early in the game on a blown assignment. Or other than that, the defense was lights out all night.
When you look at your special teams, I mean, you had the kickoff return, again, called back because of a penalty. It was a great setup. You guys had a great hole there. Take us through the play, and what did you see on that one?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of times where we can get Jamal just a little bit of room, a little space there. And I think the first one they called the same guy. And I don't know what they saw. We didn't see it, but they certainly saw something there the first time. So he changed his technique, and then they called him for holding. So I don't know, but if Jamal Bell gets air, we're going to make big plays. And I think for 3 weeks in a row now, our special teams has been really, really good against some really good guys, all the way back to USC when they had a #1 return in the country that didn't get a return on them. So Peyton and those guys are doing a nice job. Our guys are playing really hard on special teams.
Yeah, is it encouraging to see the returns that you're getting? I mean, you also had one later in the game that got you about to the 40, and then you were eventually able to turn that into points.
Yeah, when you got a guy back there like Jamal or Los back there on the punts, and those guys can return the ball, guys play harder for them, and they care, and they're working really hard out there, and we need to take that over to the offensive side and all the way through our team right now.
When you look at your offense, you mentioned it's just a hard time getting points scored. You did get the touchdown at the end of the game. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you had to pinpoint one thing about your offense and it not performing the way you wanted to, what would you say that would be?
Yeah, we don't execute. We don't execute for drives like normal football teams can execute a whole drive, and right now we can't. And for whatever the breakdown is, whatever the penalty is, whatever the communication is from the coaches to the field, we got whatever it is, it's going to get fixed.
Let's now go to that last drive of the game where A.J. Bianco led your team on your only touchdown scoring drive. What did you see on that drive from him?
I saw A.J. making good throws. I saw Spencer Curtis busting his ass out there catching balls. I saw guys blocking. They play hard for him. They played hard on that drive all the way to the end of the game. We got a pass interference because we were fighting for the ball. That's something you do. If you fight for the ball, you get pass interferences sometimes. And they finished the drive. And that's what we have to do a lot more and a lot earlier in the game.
Talk about Amani Johnson. He was a great performer on defense, the interceptions. Talk about what he was able to do and just the effort you're getting from him.
Yeah, he was in a position into the boundary there where they make a lot of their passing game go. And he studied the game plan. He knew what he was supposed to do. He also made some really big tackles out there tonight down in the line of scrimmage. He had one of his best games. I think his best days are still ahead of him. He's improved every game. His communication's better. And I thought our secondary, other than the one long pass that was just a blown thing, I thought our secondary played really well tonight.
Stay tuned for part 2 of my conversation with head coach Ken Wilson right after this. Welcome back to Wolfpack All Access. I'm Alex Margulies. Let's go now to part 2 of my conversation with head coach Ken Wilson down in Fresno. Let's talk about going into the bye week now. I mean, you obviously have a chance to kind of take a step back and dissect a lot of things. What's kind of your game plan as you go into this bye week?
Well, we're going to work on techniques and tempo on offense and guys playing hard, and we're going to do whatever we got to do, whether it's 1 or 2 plays or 200 plays, where we can get something going with our offense. What
can you do when you have time like this to be able to kind of have 10 days really before you have to really get back into that mode of getting ready for UNLV? I mean, what can you do during that time?
Well, you can let a lot of banged up guys get healthy, and you can see a lot of the young guys that have been playing little spot plays here and there. You can see a Connor Noah and a Marshawn Brown and some, Dyson Frank, guys that are coming back and guys that are out there, Carlos Sandy, guys that are mixing in, and you can start seeing what they can do. And A.J. Bianco's and Brendan Lewis's can compete for that job with Shane Illingworth, and you can see a lot of new guys and get some competition among your team and see if you can figure something out for the rest of the season.
When you go into a bye week, is it also an opportunity for your coaches to get out and do any recruiting? Tell me about that process.
Yeah, we'll practice on Thursday, and then the coaches will go on the road, and we've got a community service event we're doing Friday morning, and then we're letting them off till Sunday afternoon so the guys can rest and get around town and get a little relaxation, watch a little football, and catch up on academics, all the things you do. But the coaches will be out Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, and then back in on Sunday.
Earlier this week, there was a huge announcement at the Grand Sierra Resort about $1 billion investment coming to that area, part of which will include a new arena that will be the home of Nevada basketball. What did it mean to you as somebody that has spent so much time in this area to see somebody kind of step up and to see what that future looks like for Nevada basketball and just the University of Nevada as a whole?
Yeah, I think for the whole community, it's a humongous deal for the community. What we can bring, athletics-wise and other events into that area. I think the Grand Sierra is amazing, and I was communicating with Steve on the day of this thing, and now we got to get the indoor facility for football, and we're really rolling. We're doing some nice things in this community and in athletics, and we got to hold our end of the bargain up around here.
Of course, the next big one coming up, it's UNLV, Battle for the Fremont Cannon. What do you expect to see from the Rebels? Have you had a chance to see much of them on tape yet?
I haven't watched them a whole bunch, but I know they're a very improved team, and I got a lot of respect for their coaches and their coaching staff, and we're going to have to play our butts off in that game.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
So Nevada will have some time to rest as they get set for the Battle of the Fremont Cannon. That'll be coming up on Saturday, October 14th. Kickoff will be at 2 o'clock. We'll have the coverage right here for you on Nevada Sports Net. If you can't make it out to Mackey Stadium, we'll have a half-hour pregame show as well as a postgame show. The Wolfpack and the Rebels, the battle for the Fremont Cannon, coming up. Coming up next on Wolfpack All Access, we'll shift gears and take you to the incredible announcement at the Grand Sierra Resort, a $1 billion private investment in the region that will include a new home for the Wolfpack basketball team.
Welcome back to Wolfpack All Access inside Champion Chevrolet Studio. I'm Nikki Pica. Earlier this week, the Grand Sierra Resort announced a $1 billion privately funded project that will include the future home of Wolfpack's men's basketball. Our Shannon Kelly has more on the project that will transform the city of Reno in many ways.
The Nevada men's basketball team will soon have a new arena to call home after playing at Lawler Events Center since the early 1980s. The 10,000-seat arena is expected to be ready for the Wolfpack by the 2026 or the 2027 season, pending approval from the Nevada Board of Regents. This will be transformational not just for men's basketball, but for the entire athletic department. Both the men's and women's basketball teams will have an opportunity to now host multi-team events and put in bids for the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament. Nevada head coach Steve Alford and Stephanie Remp were overjoyed and thankful for Grand Sierra Resort Alex Murillo's investment to the Wolfpack. Murillo bought the GSR in 2011 and is also the owner of the NHL's Arizona Coyotes. Remp and Alford said this wouldn't have been possible without University of Nevada president Brian Sandoval, who developed a relationship with Murillo many years ago.
My first thoughts were almost couldn't believe it. To get to this point, have some meetings with Alex and his team, again, it's just gratitude, it's thankfulness. Very honored to be the coach here, and this is something that you don't really think is going to happen, and then when it happens, you become very excited about it, because I've had a lot of games and a lot of years in the Mountain West, and this puts when this comes to fruition, we're talking about the best basketball facility in the Mountain West Conference.
We talk to other venues that are off campus, and they've assured us that when you commit to the students and the students are excited, then you make it easy for them to come and you make sure they understand their value, and we'll continue to do that, because that's a big, important piece of college basketball.
Current Wolfpack season ticket holders will have the first opportunity to purchase season tickets at the new arena. And as far as Lawler Events Center goes, that will soon be the home of the Wolfpack women's basketball team. Reporting inside the Grand Sierra Resort, Shannon Kelly, Nevada Sports Net.
Thanks, Shannon. Men's basketball has more to look forward to than just a state-of-the-art arena, but an opportunity to build off of last season's promising run. We caught up with head coach Steve Alford ahead of the Wolfpack's first official practice.
The guys have had a great summer, great fall. For the most part, we're healthy. We're a little nicked up, but not bad. This is the deepest team we've had. We're deep at every position. I think we're more athletic this year, which was an off-season focus of ours, and now it's just about we've had that experience. I think the guys know how close they were. That last 2 weeks kind of has been inside of them all year long, all summer long, and now it's just, can we make that next step? You got to get tougher. You got to have a different mindset to do that, and I think our guys they're in the progress of doing that. They're not anywhere near that yet, but they're working towards it.
The Pack is adding 3 freshmen to their already veteran rotation, including 4-star recruit Jazz Gardner, combo guard Amir Robinson, and a speedy Tyler Rowlandson.
We're very excited about these 3 freshmen. They're on a veteran team, and so they've got to be patient. They've got to learn. Each of them have a learning curve that they got to go through that some of the older guys have already been through. I have always played freshman. I played freshman my whole career, so these 3 are going to get a lot of opportunities in practice to just work up that ladder, and I think their future is bright. What their role is going to be, I think that's got to play out here in October.
With big players like Jared Lucas, Keenan Blackshear, and Trey Coleman returning, as well as a healthy Hunter McIntosh and KJ Himes, The way the season ended has motivated the guys this offseason. The Pack's first exhibition game of the season is November 1st against Stanislaus State here in town at Lawler Event Center. Practice is also underway for the women's basketball team ahead of their exhibition game on October 29th. The ladies will host Cal State East Bay, and we'll check in with head coach Amanda Levins in next week's edition of Wolfpack All Access. Coming up, we'll hear the story of soccer player Serene Gronar and her journey to landing with the silver and blue.
Welcome back to Wolfpack All Access. I'm Alex Margulies. The Wolfpack soccer team in action this week, picking up a draw against Fresno State and then a victory over San Jose State on Sunday. And a player that has really been stepping up for them has been Las Vegas native Serene Gronar, who has been a surprise addition for the Wolfpack soccer team, going from walk-on to starter in her first season with the team. Chris Murray has the story.
Half forward number 4, Serene Gronar.
5 months after enrolling at the University of Nevada as a student in hopes of making the Wolfpack women's soccer team in a spring tryout, Serene Gronar walked into Coach Vanessa Valentine's office to see if she earned a roster spot.
Obviously, I was hoping for the best. I thought I had a pretty good spring season.
But an hour into that May meeting, Gronar still didn't know if she had made the cut. Valentine wasn't playing tricks with her player. She simply assumed Gronar knew she was good enough.
It wasn't till the very end, an hour-long meeting, that I was like, oh my God, I forgot to even tell you, you're on the team, girl.
I was just very relieved and obviously really happy because I got to just continue doing what I love with the people that I love.
A Las Vegas native, Gronar began her college career a continent away at Iona in New Rochelle, New York. As a freshman for the Gales last season, Gronar played just 31 minutes over 2 matches. She quickly knew she craved a different college experience, hitting the transfer portal and returning to the Silver State. Getting her foot in the door at Nevada thanks to her club coach.
Her club coach vouching for her was good enough for me. So brought her in for spring, thought, hey, you know what, it can't hurt anything. We have an extra body, it's an extra training player. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, at least we gave it a shot.
Nevada got more than an extra training player. It got a starter, as Gronar has emerged as one of the Wolfpack's top 11 in its first year under Valentine. Shy by nature, Gronar admits her transition to Nevada wasn't easy, but week by week, month by month, she grew more comfortable. And with that came confidence.
She just started getting comfortable and started coming out of her shell. And man, when she came out of her shell, she just exploded. She is an unbelievable human being, unbelievable young woman.
One of Nevada's top athletes and fittest players, Gronar hails from an accomplished athletic family. One sister plays soccer at Pacific. Another is committed to play at Middle Tennessee. And her older brother was a quarterback at Idaho State. But Serene can say something nobody else in the family can. She scored a goal at the Division I level, that coming in Nevada's 3-2 win over Eastern Washington to cap non-conference play. Beyond what she's accomplished on the field, Gronar has found equal success off it at Nevada.
I found a lot of my best friends and it's just completely different, and I never thought I was going to be in a situation like this. I'm very thankful and grateful for what I have.
With 3 years of eligibility remaining, Gronar is viewed as a foundational piece for Valentine as she looks to build a winner at Nevada. And while victories are important, they're not the only thing. Valentine has been most pleased that Gronar has found a home and is happy playing for the Wolfpack after taking a shot in a tryout just a few months ago.
Seeing her smile, that brings everything full circle for me, because it shows that she's enjoying her time here. And that's what matters. I want these girls to bleed blue and silver. I want it to be more than just the 4 years. I want it to be a lifetime.
For Wolfpack All Access, Chris Murray.
Gronar with another impressive week for the Wolfpack, tallying assists in both the tie against Fresno State and the 2-0 win over San Jose State. Coming up next on Wolfpack All Access, the Wolfpack men's basketball season is just around the corner. We'll tell you how you can get tickets to that and much more when we come back. Welcome back to Wolfpack All Access. I'm Alex Margulies. Before we go on this week's edition, a couple of things we want to remind you about. The Wolfpack men's basketball season is coming up just around the corner. Included in their schedule is a non-conference matchup down in Las Vegas at the Dollar Loan Center against Drake. It's part of the 2023 Jack Jones Classic on December 9th. You can join the Wolfpack in Henderson by heading to MyNevadaTickets.com. You can also check out season ticket packages and much more. You can also call 348-PACK. Also coming up, mark your calendars for Friday, October 27th at the Row as the Wolfpack Ski Ball returns. This year's keynote speaker features author, freelance writer, and two-time Olympic skier Edith Thies Morgan. You can sign up today at nevadaskiing.org to purchase your tickets. That'll do it for this week's edition of Wolfpack All Access. For Shannon Kelly, Nikki Pica, Mike Stephenson, I'm Alex Margulies, and we will see you next Sunday. Good night.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.